Okay, what we're going to do is take a look here at Chapter 4, Test Review. Now these questions that I'm going to be doing up here are actual problems that are right off of the Chapter 4 test. Now there's two different forms of the test. Okay, so I'm not sure how many problems I have here that I'm going to be doing, but half of them will be on your test, exactly. So my recommendation to you, if you're watching this video, is take notes. Write down the problems, and you may use those on the test, and certainly you're going to get these problems correct. And I'll be honest with you, I think there's some of the more difficult ones on your test. So that's a reward for you watching this video and preparing yourself for this test. Okay, first of all, if we take a look at what I got up here, I got two problems here that you have to use the distributive property on. Okay, now if you remember back in the chapter when we used the distributive property, we did this right here. We multiplied 5 times A and also 5 times 1. Okay, and we kept our same sign here, which is subtraction. So 5 times A is 5A. I bring my subtraction sign, I put it down. And 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, and that would be my answer, 5A minus 5 for that problem. What this is A minus 1 5 times. If you think of it this way, it's A minus 1, A minus 1, A minus 1. You know, that's what multiplication is repeated addition. There I have A minus 1 5 times. So if we look at how many A's, well, we have 5 A's, right? Okay, and how many 1's? Well, 5 1's minus 5. Okay, that's the idea that goes into this problem. Well, we certainly don't want to do this every time, so there's a shortcut, and this is a shortcut. Here's another one. So once again, we multiply and multiply. So 6n, keep our same subtraction sign, and 6 times 4 is 24. So 6n minus 24 for the answer on that one. Okay? All right. Let's take a look at another problem. Okay, this one here is going to be a problem where you're going to have to show your work, you're going to have to solve it. It's an equation. We did lots of these, and I'm going to want you to show work. So the thing you're going to want to do is divide the problem into 2 parts. Okay, whatever we do to one side, we have to do the same thing on the other, so we're dividing this into 2 sides. And that's why I put the lines going down here. That's going to help us to line this problem up correctly using our equal sign. Plus, it emphasizes the point that we have 2 sides on an equation, and that's an important concept in algebra. Okay, so the first thing we have to do, if we want to add the opposite, that might make this a little easier. If I add the opposite here, okay, I need to get rid of my negative 12. Okay, so if I'm at negative 12 on a number line, I have to add 12 to get back to 0. So the opposite operation is to add 12. So I'm going to add 12 on both sides. That will cancel this one out. Okay, so these cancel out. I'm left with 6y equals 30 plus 12, which is 42. Okay, now I have to get rid of my 6, so I have y all by itself. That's the goal when you're doing an algebra problem like this, is to get y isolated, all by itself, in other words. So I want to get rid of the 6, and it's 6 times y, so I'm going to divide by 6 using a fraction bar to show that. These cancel, so y equals 42 divided by 6, which is 7. Now remember, you can take your answer and go put it in up in the problem and check your work. Okay, if I put 7 in here, 6 times 7 is 42. 42 plus negative 12 is going to be positive 30. You may use a calculator to help you crunch numbers and check your work, and I really encourage that. Okay, here's one that's a little more difficult, real similar though. Okay, so first step is to divide the equation into 2 sides. Okay, I'm going to add the opposite. Okay, that helps to eliminate mistakes. Now my first step, I have to get rid of the minus or the negative 7 here. So I'm going to add 7, that would be the opposite operation. Okay, these cancel. So I'm left with negative 3x equals 14 plus 7. This is a plus sign. 14 plus 7 is 21. Okay, now I have to get rid of my negative 3, and it's negative 3 times x, so I'm going to divide by negative 3 to cancel it out. I have to do the same thing on both sides. Remember, whatever you do on one side, you have to go to the other side and do exactly the same thing, which I've done. Okay, these cancel, so x equals 21 divided by negative 3, which is negative 7. Now once again, take it and try it. Okay, negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21. 21 plus negative 7 is positive 14, so it does check out. Okay, here's another one, same idea, a little more complicated, a little more to it yet. So once again, we're going to divide the problem into two sides. Don't worry that the variable is over on the right side this time. You can leave it there. Just work it with, isolate this variable. We'll have the y all by itself down here on the right side. So it'll be our answer equals the variable, and that's okay. All right, I'm going to add the opposite. Okay, my first step then, we're always working on the variable side. Okay, I want to get rid of the negative 17, so I'm going to have to add 17. That's the opposite operation, that will get rid of it. Okay, so these cancel. I'm left with y over 3, and here I have negative 23 plus 17, okay, which is going to be negative 6. Use your calculator on that. Don't mess that up right there, because any one mistake on these problems is going to cause you to get a wrong answer. But one thing is you can check your answer, so hopefully you can find that mistake. Y is being divided by 3, so I need to multiply by 3 to cancel it. I have to do the same thing on both sides, so I multiply both sides by 3. These 3's cancel. I'm left with y, and then equals here, and 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Now if you want to rewrite, if you prefer to have y on this side, then rewrite it at the end here, if that bothers you. That's certainly appropriate to put your answer this way. I'm not going to mark that wrong. But if you want to rewrite it to say y equals negative 18 instead of negative 18 equals y, that you could do. Now let's try it. Okay, so negative 18 divided by 3, okay, is going to be negative 6. Negative 6 plus negative 17 is negative 23. It does check out. Okay, here's another one similar to the one we just did. All right, add the opposite. I want to get rid of my negative 9. I'm going to add 9. Add 9. On both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you got to go over and do the same thing on the other side. These cancel. And over 2 equals 2 plus 9, which is 11. Okay, next step, multiply by 2. I want to get rid of this divided by 2, so I do the opposite operation, which would be to multiply by 2. These cancel. N equals 11 times 2, which is 22 for my answer. Now don't forget to check it. 22 divided by 2 is 11. 11 plus negative 9 is positive 2. It checks out. Okay, this one here, we have to simplify it as far as we can. All right? When we simplify an expression, in this case, we don't know what the variable b is. They're not giving us a value for b, so we're only going to be able to get so far. But it's not in simplest form right now. Okay, so when we simplify it, here's what we do. We combine our like terms, but first of all, we want to get rid of parentheses. So I'm going to do what I did earlier. I got to multiply. Okay, this b plus 1 is being times by 9, so it's b plus 1 9 times. Remember when I listed it out in the first problem? Well, we don't want to have to do that, but 9 times b is 9b. Put my plus sign down. 9 times 1 is 9, minus 6b here. Now, I'm going to add the opposite here so I don't make a mistake. Okay, I'm going to change this subtraction to addition, and this next number to its opposite. That is a fair move. And that allows you to add easier. Okay, so now if I combine like terms, here's like term. 9b and negative 6b are like terms. They can be combined, put together. So 9 plus negative 6 is positive 3. So this is going to be 3b plus 9. Okay, and that's as far as I can go on that problem. I have it simplified as far as I can do. I can't combine my 9 with my 3b here, okay, because they're not like terms. Like terms can be put together. If they're not like terms, well, you cannot add them together. So that's it, I'm done. There's my answer, 3b plus 9. Okay, let's try this one. Same thing, first step is to multiply here. Okay, so 4c plus, I bring that addition sign down, 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, now I rewrite the rest of this now. Now I've eliminated my parentheses and now I can combine like terms. Well, 2c and 4c are like terms, they can be added together to make 6c. 6c plus 12, and that is it. That is in simplest form, I can't go any further with it. That's it.